You don't judge them for it. You just keep it moving. Just treat people like you want to be treated. So all you Moors need to find out the difference between Noble Drew Ali and the Zionist Moorish movement. And y'all need to pick a fucking side. They beat the Prophet to death. Split the temple. Like we don't know what the fuck happened. Tariq Bey, Moorish Order of the Round Table, I'm with them. Just so y'all know. Noble Drew Ali was the High Chief, Southeast Territories. When he became High Chief of the land, he became responsible to figure out a way out of this shit. So he found a way out by taking the secrets out the temple. And that was discovered first by Prince Hall when he realized that the African conjure that they was using in the temple was the African conjure they was using to oppress us. He knew how to turn that shit around where we can all play this knockaround game. And then we had to have a dog in every fight because they used this measure of divide and conquer. He told us that we was gangbangers instead of tribesmen. So, all these motherfuckers that they've been trying to keep y'all from paying attention to, active campaigns of hatred, and telling you that you don't like your brother. You didn't come up with that shit on your own. It was manufactured in a boardroom, written down on paper by men that look like us, on how to divide and conquer us. How to use as a cat's paw somebody unlike the rest. And then they call it Yaqub's graft the devil, but Jacob was a so-called Jew. What the fuck is a Jew? A Zionist Jew, a Moor from Spain is a Zionist Jew. They were jewelers, sold us into bondage, crossed us out using our conjure, making blood oaths on our land. That's why Benjamin Banneker designed DC with the Masonic symbols, as if we couldn't use them motherfuckers too. We can use every conjure on this bitch. As you have seen, I have not done one conjure myself. All of the conjures has been done for me by what they call the lesser magic. Because we can use the lesser magic to conquer the higher magic when you don't know the lesser magic. It's the same as if you tunneling under a goddamn house and you take all the dirt from under the house, it's gonna cave in. And this is what we did. The knockaround game, one of the oldest forms of conjure you can imagine, based on the pings of light as it flickered. Ping. It's a knockaround game. Light rays bouncing off matter, which is actually denser forms of light. It's a knockaround game. So I tell them guys upstate, tell everybody in there, get a book. It could be a novel. It could be a dictionary, encyclopedia, a law book. It could be anything. Read. Because when you exercise your optic nerve, it's got to be stronger to see within in order to see out, as opposed to seeing directly out. They got you looking at the world upside down and turned around, and that's why you can't see no goodness to come. But when you realize what's taking place, they can't stop this shit. It's us that was already here with the first right of the earth women who reign as queens on this bitch. I grew up seeing all of the queens in exile. Now I want to see them in their robes of plenty. Because when you see that, then you know the dark element that festered is no longer present. So the physical representation of a spiritual function is what you would be looking at. The liberation of the spirit comes to the physical world by way of the feminine, and it is reflected off the masculine as a border, a barrier. He is her rock, but she is his strength. You can feel the rock, but you can only feel the effects of strength. Can you go pour me a glass of strength? He is her rock, and she is his strength. So when you see him work out in the gym, he's hardening the rock so that he can be a better reflection of her strength. Behind every great man is a great woman. That's what they're talking about. So when they trap you in a cage and you try to learn to harness your rage, what do? You go to the weights. You go and work on the rock that will absorb any form of feminine energy around you in order for you to feel the strength. That's why they put women in men's prisons. Too much strength. They couldn't keep you in bondage this long had they not made that switch back in the 70s and started allowing women to work in men's prison. Even then, the women that worked there was under the rule of the inmate. Inmates lost control when they failed to unionize their workforce. So they surrendered their control of the prison system, and they were given the right to unionize their workforce because they were all similarly situated performing these same jobs, what they call free labor. Prison would not be productive anymore. You would go to prison probably because this is the structure. When you take the structure and you change the structure, you produce a different quality of person. But you just can't let. There's some people in there I could not put in the social environment with other humans. They wouldn't be functional. The system has broke them that bad. So you let them have their own institution, so to speak. You know? You done fucked them up. You fucked them up where they not fit to be around other regular people. They ain't fucked themselves up. Because when you know their journey, you don't hold them responsible for what was done to them and how they responded with the pain and misery inflicted upon them. I think my homeboy Cartoon been down long enough. I think he'd do the right thing if he was out here with his family. Benny Clay. I think he'd do the right shit if he was out here with his family. You know, motherfuckers being in that motherfucker all them years are actually free labor. That's the whole thing. That's the purpose of giving them life. If they that fucked up where they gotta be in there forever, just chop their goddamn head off and keep it moving. But they not that fucked up yet. But when you get done with them, they will be. Take away all hope and aspirations of liberation. And they develop a case of learned helplessness and Stockholm syndrome. Only the captive they see is a brother like me. So I got people I talked to, read their paperwork, like Sigurd Ziel, Know that fucking man innocent. Any fucking motherfucker with a 3rd grade education read his file, say, why in the fuck are you here? And they won't let him out. Well, he might be out now, but when I was in there, he was still in there. And I gave him some pointers on what to do. You know. The Jesus brothers, I'm going to get them. If the Innocence Project don't have them out before I come off leave, they coming up out of there. It don't matter. I mean, paperwork ain't gonna matter no way. Fuck they paperwork. We don't use that shit. We read the goddamn metal netter, the writing of God, the hieroglyph, the writing on the wall. That's what the fuck we read. We don't need no goddamn paper. Why the fuck we need paper? We don't even gotta memorize this shit. All we gotta do is know how to go get it. We know everything already. We told each other what the answers to all of the tests was. Some of us backed out the test. That means that they just have to take on a new responsibility and walk a different path. Some of y'all gonna be stuck with a devil because you're not gonna want to, when your judgment come up that you wrote, because we all judge ourselves, because can't know who's qualified to judge you. You. Because only you know what you've been through, and only you know how you responded to it. Only you know in your heart of hearts if you did what you thought was right. If you had to do wrong, did you get back right? Or was you can't get right? So when you focus your energy, you actually write your own judgment by what you do with your energy. Some people, judgment day is a self-condemnation. And other people, it's a self-exaltation. But it's always from the self. Who the fuck qualified? Not me. I ain't live your life. I can read what you telling me subconsciously. I can do that. But it ain't me condemning you and judging you. I'm just telling you what you already know. You just not going to want to hear the truth. Because the truth hurt worse than goddamn bullets. And them motherfuckers is hot. If you don't believe me, ask Pop. So y'all know, them was Moors that tried to shoot Pop. The quad, or they shot him in quad. Them was Moors. They was sent by Moors. Just so y'all know. Moor, I wasn't mad until these tricks shot me. It's time I sanitized my posse. We got traitors. We got the infiltrators in the mix. Go back and listen to it. Turning up my headphones. More. I wasn't mad until these tricks shot me. Time I sanitized my posse. Look how paranoid these niggas got me. You know? What did he say? If you believe in God, believe in Death Row East. The fuck is he talking about? Where's Death Row East? Suge just got Death Row back. No. It was the knockaround game. Legba said, y'all fucked up. I'm calling Ogun. I'm calling my big brother to come put a whole 12 inches of foot in your whole asshole. And that's why I'm here. That's why y'all even hear me talking. I ain't need none of this shit. My brother's called. So he say, when my homies call, I'll be there in the instant. And there won't be no resistance. 50 niggas. I could have got away with that. 50 niggas knocking. I didn't have to answer. But I had 50 sisters knocking. I got to answer my sisters. Gods and Earths. Clarence. 13X. Father God Allah. Pudding. 5% Nation. Yep. I had to go walk in Brooklyn. I had to go meet a queen up that way in order to get the key. I didn't even know I had the fucking key. But she rocks in the treetop all day long, huffing and puffing and singing a song. All the little birdies on Jaybird Street. What's Jaybird? The blue bird. The blue bird that holds up the blue wall of justice. The Benu bird. The Jaybird. All the little birdies on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. 3 knocks. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin. Tweet, tweet, tweet. 3 knocks. Well, who the fuck is Tweet? It's a key. Because I went to school with the guy named Tweet. Then I was listening to Tweet while she was playing with herself. And so somebody tweeted me a message. So I twittered them back. That's that old knockaround game. So my broker flipped me her mama name. That's in the holy tablets, Mimi. To give me the sign that I was on time with time. But they only 2 days behind. So, I got that key. And a whole bunch of other ones. I can go over all of them. Just not going through the story. I ain't gonna do it now. But I had to go back home to the city of Wynn where this shit all began on 11/10/1968. That's the time they opened my mama's heavenly gate and let her loose this wild ass ape. I was too ambitious to stay stuck on the pate. So I had to figure out a different way to elevate. The treasures of earth didn't move me much, but the treasures of the heart moved me too much. Or it seems as such. It's the poetry in the heart that writes the song that we sing. And it's the inspiration that the lady brings. For the man to be able to be the creative man and to seeing the highest heights, you got to find the love, the greatest love of all, deep inside. But you got to reflect it off of something. You got to find your strength so that you can strengthen your rock. So this is what we do. And I had a lot of people step up to the mic. Most of them can't hold it. So, this penitentiary shit about to change drastically on my watch. We're not finna be doing these innocent motherfuckers. We're not finna be doing these fabricated cases. Police dope drops. Police gun drops. Shooting an innocent motherfucker and put a pistol in his hand so he can get life for attempted murder on the police. Kicking in motherfucking doors for unlawful warrants. Warrants secured by a person doing the work of the federal government by the distribution of the narcotics they bring here. So, all these drug cases, y'all got the wrong motherfuckers locked up. Them need to be executive boards of big pharma locked up. Them the motherfuckers committing war crimes in plain sight. You don't see all these lawsuits on Pfizer and all these greedy motherfuckers that pay these politicians? So, if you only locked up for dope, you might start packing your bags to come home. If that's the only case you got or ever had is a dope case, you out the gate. You're not gonna lock them in there for being patriotic. The government brought that shit over here, and the government is responsible from the top to the bottom. Therefore, you cannot hold the individual responsible for what the government compels him to do. It's right in your law. It say it. You gotta follow your law too, motherfucker. You say in your law Can't nobody disguise themselves with the color of law to compel another person to commit a crime. But you go undercover all the time and create crime where there is no crime. That's a violation.
Inform people that the best place to actually place their money is either in gold or silver. One question that one of the sisters had was, how do they go about buying the gold and the silver?
They got brokers. You have to go through a broker to access it. But there's also jewelers. You can buy gold and silver from jewelers as well. And the coined silver and the coined gold, it'll be based on the value of the weight of gold and not based on the value of the deflation of the fiat. That's the difference.
Okay. So, all right. As far as like the generators, we were speaking about, brothers and sisters needing to have backup generators because of, I guess, the electricity won't be available to us. Can you explain that a little bit more?